almost like the Flashpoint, where it starts, one of the key matrix lines that will help shatter this status centralized system.
Hello, my friends. Hello, new viewers, new listeners. You have found Flashpoint Radio. I am your host, Jay-Z. I am coming to you on Thursday, March 15th, 2012. Missouri caucus is this Saturday. I will be attending caucus training this evening at 7 p.m. down in South County at the wonderful Stratford Inn. I hope to see some of you there, maybe, possibly. I have no idea exactly who is watching all of these videos, these episodes, but I thank you for watching. Continue to watch. Share me with your friends. Like me on Facebook and on YouTube. Subscribe above. Follow me on Twitter at Flashpoint Radio. Facebook.com/Flashpoint Radio. Unfortunately, I will be having to pull back a bit on the Flashpoint consistency. I will not be able to do a show each evening because I am in the process of moving out of an apartment and possibly moving into a home. So we've got to do some packing before the end of the month, so I will be taking a break from regularly posting these Flashpoint Radio episodes. I hope you come back and see me when I relaunch from a hopefully permanent studio/home, and I will be able to up the ante in my exposing of the globalists, the elite, and the real conspiracy to kill you and to control you and everything you do in your life. I will still be posting random episodes, so subscribe above and you'll get the emails of new Flashpoint Radios as they are released. I will try to do at least 2 a week on pertinent, important subjects. It's tough to pull and to edit what is important these days in the news, but I will do my best. So pray for me and my wife as we move on in our life journey together, and we find a new resting place for our weary bones at the end of the day. But today we are going to do just a few stories, and then I'm going to play for you some radio calls that I did earlier last year, and I hope you like it. Maybe it'll get you motivated on calling local radio shows in your area, because they have listeners and they enjoy people who are informed and can speak on the air, and they will put you on the air if they believe you will be engaging of their listeners, and you are something that is entertaining. So I hope you get something out of that call or those calls that we play later. But we're going to get into just a few articles dealing with our current president and who I hope to be never our president. But with the primaries and the primary elections this past Tuesday, Rick Santorum has been coming on strong. But first we're going to go to President Obama. Today, this comes to us from Politico. Watched my episode yesterday on what Politico thinks of you. Obama hammers GOP on gas prices rhetoric. He's basically calling out Mitt Romney and the rest of the GOP on complaining about high gas prices. Barack Obama said he was going to bring in biofuels and renewable energy and get us off fossil fuels, which that's a different topic for a different day, but he didn't do that. Gas today in St. Louis is $3.89. In St. Louis, we have usually the lowest gas prices in the nation, and $3.89. So who knows? It'll be $4 by Memorial Day. It might be $5. But he was talking about how the GOP is stuck in the past, and they do not want to move on, and they do not want to progress to the future and new technology. And he referenced Rutherford B. Hayes, that well-known 19th president of the United States of America, and he quoted Rutherford B. Hayes as saying, Obama states that Rutherford B. Hayes stated about the telephone, quote, "It's a great invention, but who would ever want to use one? This comes to us from New York Magazine, link below. They decided to get in touch with a historian at the Rutherford B. Hayes Presidential Center in Fremont, Ohio. Nan Card, who is the curator of manuscripts, decided to laugh at the first statement hearing of what he said. And the reporter asked, or says that Hayes didn't even say the quote Obama is mocking him for, ? And no. The curator responded. She then read aloud an article from 1877 where Rutherford B. Hayes marveled at the telephone, and he was in fact the first president to have a telephone in the White House. He was also the first president to use the typewriter, and he had Thomas Edison come to the White House to demonstrate the phonograph. She says, quote, I think he was pretty much cutting edge. Maybe just the opposite of what President Obama had to say there. So, yes, that is your president, his advisors, fact-checking just like our mainstream media does, fact-checking to get you the correct information. Do your own research, people. Even the information you get from me or Alex Jones or anybody you listen to or get your information from. Moving right along to presidential hopeful Rick Santorum. This comes to us from the Daily Caller. Vigorous Santorum crackdown may catch internet porn viewers with pants down. He basically said he wants to ban internet porn. I personally have no problem with anyone viewing internet porn. I am someone who admittedly will say they have struggled with it in the past and sometimes struggle with it in the present. But it is a personal struggle that I deal with my family and with myself, and I utilize my love for Jesus Christ and God to get me through it. It is not something I need dictated to by a government. Anybody should know that when you ban something, it usually creates even worse outcomes afterwards. And I think it's funny, that the GOP wants to ban things in the Catholic Church. Catholics want to ban things like pornography when the Catholic Church has been molesting boys without pornography, without the aid of pornography, for decades, centuries, and probably even longer than that. And one note you might want to know, in 1933, Adolf Hitler banned pornography. Yes, Adolf Hitler banned pornography. While himself he was a deviant, a sexual deviant on record, and he was possibly a homosexual, and there was homosexuality rampant in the Nazi Party, and actually at the higher levels of the echelon, but they cracked down on homosexuals big time. It was selectively enforced, but they were very anti-homosexual while themselves being homosexual. Sounds a little bit like the Republican Party and probably the Democratic Party, people in power elite who learn that they can manipulate people and do whatever they want. They find out that homosexuality and, disgustingly enough, pedophilia, homosexual pedophilia, is something they can get away with. And they do. Look up the Franklin scandal if you would like to do more information research. Start page, the Franklin scandal, and you will be amazed what our Republican Party was doing in the mid to late 1980s using the Iran-Contra as cover for possibly, allegedly, underage male sex slaves being given a tour of the White House. Just look it up and jump down the rabbit hole yourself. The Franklin scandal. Look it up. The Franklin scandal. It is history. It happened. That's all I have to say about the news today. We're going to get right into this phone call I did with the Dana Loesch program. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get something out of it. Call your radio stations. Promote Ron Paul. Promote liberty. Call them out when they lie. That's what you need to do. Call them out when they lie. If you know the truth, speak it. You do not have to have a college degree. You do not have to have pedigree. Speak it, because the truth is the truth no matter if an uneducated person or an educated person says it. More often than not, the highest educated people in the world will be the greatest deceivers in the world, and they will use their high level of education to deceive you and to promote false truths just to utilize their power and to manipulate you into doing what they wish. So let's get right into the call. I hope you enjoy.
Of hate, I have a good one. But right now I want to go to the phones. Get your calls in, beginning with Jay. Jay, good afternoon to you, sir. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, Dana, what's going on?
Hey, what's happening today?
Nothing, just got a few comments on Bachman and Kane. I don't know if I believe the Bachman story. It's probably sensationalized, but I wouldn't minimalize it, because if there's any truth to it, I think it could be cannon fodder or ammunition for the Obama administration. And Herman Cain's, I must disagree with you. I think some of the things he said sound a little bit strange, and I think they're going to be hard to back up come campaign season. The one thing that I have a problem with is Michelle Bachmann was a lawyer for the IRS for 5 years. Herman Cain worked at the Federal Reserve, and in 2010 said that he feels there's no reason to audit the Federal Reserve. Why are they the conservative candidate, and you didn't even mention Ron Paul's name?
Because I disagree with Ron Paul on some foreign policy situations.
Well, I mean, what's more important, the economy at home, or spending money on multiple countries and multiple fronts overseas?
Well, don't make
any money. If we don't have any money at home,
no, I agree with that. But here's the problem in that premise. Is I don't support stuff like Libya. I don't support stuff like going in and let's just nation build in a country that has proved to be no direct threat to the United States or United States interest at all whatsoever. So on the situation of Libya, you could say that I have a sort of Ron Paul stance on that. But at the same time, defense and foreign policy is supposed to be at the forefront of priorities when it comes to being commander in chief, and that's something that I think that
borders were wide open all throughout the George W. Bush administration.
I'm not talking about George W. Bush, and
that's fine,
right?
That's fine.
But
I'm looking at the history of these candidates that we espouse to be these great conservative leaders. When the Tea Party was created during the 2008 Ron Paul campaign, I mean, that's a fact. It didn't start with Rick Santorum. It was around much longer than that. I think if you look at the will of the people, and I think if you look at the opinion of the people, a majority of the people will agree that we need to be out of all these wars, just because I don't think they see a real threat to themselves personally. I don't. I know I don't. I have a greater chance of dying from a bee sting than from an Al-Qaeda terrorist.
Well, lucky you. Don't speak so soon, Jay. I appreciate the call. We're going to take a break. We're going to get more of your calls in. I do have to say, though, that the modern-day Tea Party movement, it was Santelli popularized this. There were a lot of people, including myself, that were mad about some of the stuff going on towards the democratically controlled Congress at the end of the second Bush term. But it popularly known, it didn't happen until Santelli's ran.
Hope you enjoyed that call. I am Jay-Z saying thank you for watching Flashpoint Radio. Check in regularly to find out when I post new videos. Keep me in your prayers when I'm moving and storing things in storage and having a lot of transition periods. It will be hectic. It will be stressful. So I need your prayers. That way I can stay focused and stay calm and patient with everything and everyone involved. Again, thank you for watching Flashpoint Radio. Jay-Z signing off, saying God bless. Keep your eyes to the sky. Dream with the feathers of angels stuck beneath your head. No regulator, swinging pendulum.